Throughout this NBA season, we have had teams who were expected to be at the top of their conference at the very bottom. We have had teams who were supposed to be at the bottom of their conference to be at the very top. This season has just been very surprising to say the least. As you see on your screen right now, today we will be talking about the main surprises for this NBA season so far. This video was recorded on February 28th before today's game, so today we will be talking about 5 NBA teams who has been surprising so far in a positive way. There will be a part 2 of this coming out soon, but if you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And with that being said, let's get right to the video. The first team we will be talking about today is the Utah Jazz, and if we are all being honest, I didn't expect this from the Jazz this season. I don't think anybody did. At the moment, they have a 25-7 record, and it's very surprising to think that the Utah Jazz would be one of the best teams in the league right now. Their full lineup is full of shooters, defenders, and just amazing overall players who work well with each other. If I had to tell you, they would be better than the Lakers, the Clippers, the Bucks, hey, even the Nuggets. I don't think anybody would have expected that. They have definitely been outperforming with Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, and supporting pieces like Mike Conley, who was actually having a bounce back year from last season. And I'm just overall shocked to see this coming from this team. If I had to give you a prediction, I don't know how far they're going to make it in the playoffs, but if they're playing like how they are right now, it's going to be a problem. And they did blow out the Lakers the other night. And yes, the Lakers was missing Anthony Davis, but who knows? There's going to be a big problem with the Utah Jazz. And if you were in the Western Conference and you had to face them in the playoffs, I would be really scared. Yes, last year they got eliminated in the first round, but Mike Conley is having an amazing year. Everybody on that team is shooting lights out from three-point range. The team overall is shooting 40% from three-point range. 40% overall. And this is just surprising. I was expecting this to slow down, but it's still going on. So if this continues throughout the rest of the season, and especially the playoffs, this team is going to be hard to beat. If you asked me at the beginning of the NBA season, who would I think would be the best team in the Eastern Conference, I probably would have said the Bucks. That might be biased, but I probably would have said the Bucks. I probably would have said Brooklyn. But so far, it's very close. But the Philadelphia 76ers are playing amazing. They have key pieces like Joel Embiid, who is honestly probably going to win the MVP, or is looking like so far. They have Ben Simmons, who's improving from how he started his season. They have Seth Curry, who shoots like his brother. They have Tobias Harris, who is playing like an all-star like usual. This team is dangerous. I don't know how I feel about this team because there is a lot of questions you could ask about certain spots in the roster, or just about spots in the roster overall. But besides the point, this team is the best in the Eastern Conference with the 22-12 record, and the East has been weak overall. It has been very top heavy, but besides that, this team is amazing to say the very least. Ben Simmons was going to be traded, or was about to be traded, for James Harden, and who knows, if they made that trade, it probably could have been better. But I don't know if that trade would have improved this team or made it worse than how they're playing right now, because we all know James Harden, he can improve a team, but in certain situations, we just don't know. But yeah, just about the Sixers, I'm scared to see them in the playoffs. I would not want to face them, and if we do have to face them, which I'm assuming we probably will, because I don't know, but this team is very great, and I'm glad to see it. I'm just going to tell you guys a quick story real quick. So, the first Charlotte Hornets game I've watched so far in the season was when they played the Houston Rockets, and I loved this team ever since then. they are just fun. I actually made a video about it where I believe I just called the title "The Hornets Are Actually Fun to Watch" or something like that. I don't remember. But besides the point, the Hornets are fun. I know I just said that, but LaMelo might be overhyped depending on some people, but the hype is really worth it. Coming out of high school and when he played overseas, you saw his clips everywhere. And people just knew when he comes to the NBA, he is going to be something special. And he has been nothing but special. Yes, the Charlotte are at the 10th seed at the moment with a 15-17 record. But to be honest, I was expecting them to be dead last. They are ahead of teams like Washington, the Hawks, the Magic. I expected those three teams to be ahead of the Charlotte Hornets, but they are ahead. They have been winning at a decent rate. I was expecting them to be horrible, I'm gonna be honest. But the Hornets have fun players to actually watch, like Gordon Hayward, who everybody thought was overpaid, but he's actually doing really well so far. They have LaMelo. They have Miles Bridges, who is amazing. They have the Martin brothers, if that's something to you. And one more thing, Malik Monk was having DNPs, coach decisions, but now he's shooting lights out. If you aren't watching the Hornets, I recommend you start because this team is very entertaining to watch. For the fourth team, if you would have asked me, the Houston Rockets would have been respect. Wait, let me stop right there because they are on a losing streak at the moment. And yes, they're not doing good, but I'm going to base this off the time where they actually had Christian Wood because he's been out for a while. But if you would have told me this team would have been good with John Wall, Christian Wood is an amazing piece for this team. The Bucks used to have him, and I'm kind of wish we still did, but when Christian Wood has been playing for them, this team has been amazing. Yes, there is still some questions with this team on Victor Oladipo's future. Is PJ Tucker still going to be there, which I believe he's going to be traded eventually. But besides that, you can't doubt this team when they were actually healthy. They are 14th in the NBA standings in the Western Conference with an 11-20 record. That is bad, but they have been missing their arguable best player so far. So I'm not going to look in that too much. But when they did have Christian Wood, this team was so fun to watch. They have the usual players from last season like Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, like I said, Ben McLemore. But they also have these new faces like John Wall, Christian Wood. Hey, even Kevin Porter Jr. can probably help this team out. This team, the way they bounced back from the James Harden situation, because that situation was very rough for them, and I feel like they handled it well. But let's just imagine a scenario where Victor Oladipo stays. He signs an extension or he resigns in free agency. This team stays intact. This team is going to be great, and I think not a lot of people understands that. But hey, the best we can do is wait and see what happens with this team. Last but certainly not least, we will be talking about the New York Knicks, and arguably this might be the biggest surprise of the whole video so far. The Knicks are actually good, and hey, that's surprising to say, right? At the very moment, they are the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference with a 17-17 record. They are ahead of teams like the Celtics, the Heat, the Pacers, the Hawks, the Wizards. You cannot tell me you expected New York basketball to be this good so far. They made a trade for Derrick Rose, who is definitely helping out their team. And when the trade eventually went down, I kind of questioned that because I believed Elfrid Payton was going to still be in the rotation, but he has been out with injury, so Derrick took the starting spot. And I feel like when Elfrid comes back, he should definitely be coming off the bench because if not, there's going to be some issues with this roster. But hey, man, the Knicks are actually good. They're back. I think, at least. I don't want to jinx anything, but the Knicks are just good. You can just say it like that. They have a first-time All-Star in Julius Randle when last season he was not playing the best. And everybody believed that they should have traded him or did something with him, but now he's an all-star. And Knicks basketball is back. The league is just more fun when we have New York basketball actually being good. But yeah, with that being said, that will be the end of today's video, and I would like to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.